Hello everyone, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I am Sri Rahayu. In this video, I'm going to discuss the stage in language acquisition. Talking about the stage of language acquisition, firstly, we need to understand about what language is and what language acquisition is. Before explaining the stage, I'm going to give a brief explanation about language and language acquisition. Language can be defined as a set of symbols used for communication based on culture. We use language in our daily lives to communicate and interact with each other. Next is language acquisition. Language acquisition is the process by which humans acquire the capacity to perceive and comprehend language. In other words, gain the ability to be aware of language and to understand it, as well as to produce and use words and sentences to communicate. According to Stern, 1924, stage and period are the variation in process of children acquiring language. The child's language development is a scan of 5 time periods, which is the preliminary stage, and the others are periods 1 to 4. Right now, I will explain the stage and periods of language acquisition. First is the preliminary stage. Preliminary stage is where imitation is understood. This is the initial stage in the language acquisition process. Reaction to the child's cries indicate to communicate. Progressively echoing and responding to sounds and humans. Next is the first period. A child gets a small number of sounds, but the child does not necessarily understand grammar. The main behavior of this period is the slow growth of one-word sentences. For example, a child says "mama" when she or he purely wants attention. Next is the second period. In this period, when the child learns to pronounce multi-words, they start with hesitation, then more fluently, and also start to understand the name of things. For example, a child says the dog. The word refers to the name of animal. And the second example is baby sleeping. Words to describe something that is currently happening. In the second period, children have 3 stages of vocabulary growth. The first one is substance, increase in nouns, and the second one is action, increase in verbs, relation, and the last one is distinction, increase in qualifying and relational words. Then we jump to the third period. In this period, sentences are well structured. Children begin to make complete sentences with subjects and objects. For example of sentences are "Mommy eat carrot and he is playing ball." And the last one is the fourth period. In this phase, the hierarchical structure and the acquisition of embedded of subordinate sentences replaces the simple juxtaposition of word in the syntax. Child starts to ask about time and causality. Example, "Why are you crying, mommy?" In this part, I will discuss the first year after birth. In this first year, there is no language, means the child still not be able to speak. There are 3 activities occur during this first year. The first one is babbling. The phase occurs from around 6 to 8 months old. It is produced spontaneously. They begin to babble and makes noises and syllables that are not words yet. Sometimes they babble to communicate with others. Example sounds like "ba-ba-ba," "dada," "mama." And there are 2 inner drives behind babbling. The first one is drive to express oneself, which allows the child to establish an association between certain states of feeling and the sounds form belonging to them. And the other drive is to socialize with others. The next activities are imitation or echo babbles. Imitation or echo babbles are also the result of an innate drive or disposition. This activity also allows children to practice speaking. And the last activities is rudimentary understanding. In the stage where children begin to understand that action and sound have a certain context. For example, we are waving means bye-bye. Well, that's all my explanation about stage of language acquisition. I hope you guys enjoy it. Thank you for watching and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.